So I want to tell you my story as an immigrant, born in Pakistan, moved to England at the age of 7, did all my education, and English was my biggest challenge because I didn't speak English at the age of 7. And even though I'm almost 7 years or 3 years behind my education, I had to go through the expedited English learning as an extra help while I continued in the mainstream education. So you can imagine I have landed in England at the age of 7. I had to learn English very, really fast because they had elementary school, middle school, high school, then university. And at the same time, I had to make sure that I wasn't going to fail anything because the expectation from the family was that you're not going to fail, and you don't really think otherwise. You just think that I have to work really hard. No one needs to tell you you need to work hard. It's just something ingrained uh, from your parents' perspective, that who were also immigrants, who worked in factories. They didn't have anything. They hardly spoke English, for example. So we're the first uh, children of immigrants in England back in the 80s, trying to work, go to school, and be successful. So I went to school. I was given extra help for English. At the same time, continue to work, to be in the mainstream with the rest of my colleagues. So I did that, and thank God I managed to successfully complete my elementary, middle school, high school, and I took on a university degree in engineering, which was the most difficult, and I did it even though I found it super difficult. I did it without slipping once. I did every year successfully. I passed every year successfully, and I was very grateful. And at the same time, I got a job. And then while I was doing the job, I actually got a funding to do part-time master's degree, which I did as well. So you can see I did master's, and without even failing once. Thank God, all that happened for the right reason. And I give it to discipline and the culture that I was brought up, which is all about working hard, twice as hard as anyone else, and cannot fail attitude. So that's how I finished my education. In terms of my work, it was just one of those work where you just work and you don't say, "Oh, I don't like this work. I'm going to change." We talk about remote work at that time until COVID. It was nothing like that. You have to come to the office, and you could be commuting on trains or driving for hours, and that was just normal. You don't complain about commute. It's just a normal thing to do. So everything there was, you have to work really, really hard. You weren't compensated. I did so many articles, I post on LinkedIn about your worth. And I learned in the beginning that I was doing so much work, not complaining, not compensated, but yet colleagues from different backgrounds were compensated for doing little than I was doing. And I learned to speak up. I learn to love myself and know what's my worth. And I continue to coach people, tell people, you need to speak up, you need to know your worth, and you don't take a no for, you don't do a lot of work for less money. You need to be aware of that. So it was important to be educated. It was important to get a job, and thank God that happened. Now, what about attitude of these days, of the people's mentality? People go through a lot of mental health. They get a lot of stress. In my world, stress was there, but it wasn't something that you bring up. It was there that you had to handle yourself. It wasn't something I could share with. In fact, in our culture, talking about mental health was like, what does that mean? We all have difficult times, so buckle up and keep going. So it was no one there to listen to you, and you never brought up these mental issues. And today you realize that the mental health is a big issue, and now you really take care of people. But where I'm coming from, that was not the case, and it may not be the case today as well for many people. So if you are having difficulty trying to get through to people, and the culture environment doesn't give you that space, there are a lot of organizations, a lot of people you can reach out to and get help. It's not something that I had to go through, where there is no such thing as you can talk to your parents or someone else that, hey, I'm having a hard time, is there another option, can I get support? It was nothing like that. It was ingrained in our soul to keep going, and you don't complain. So I came from that background. I'm grateful for the outcome that I have achieved, and I'm grateful the lessons I've learned. Now, for my children, I don't put that stress. I don't give them that kind of difficult kind of scenarios. I let them flow with the whatever they want to do. I support them in everything they do, And because my background that was missing, I make sure that is there now. So as a new generation continues, they will do even better for their children and their children, etc. So just to summarize in this video, we as an immigrant had to work really hard, had to be best educated, had to work, hard to get compensated to what you're worth. And it took a while to recognize your worth. And sometimes I doubt myself as well. But now with the actual experience behind, I'm coaching a lot of people that you need to learn your worth very early in your career, and you need to have some mentors in your life so that you can talk about things like health, mental health issues, or whatever. You need to have all those things available to you. So I hope this video gives you some kind of inspiration that it's okay to have someone talk to about mental health. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to fail. It's okay to fail, because fail gives you a lesson that you will do better next time. That is something I didn't have. So I want to give that kind of message that it's okay to fail. It's okay to talk to people about mental health. It's okay to you don't need to drive yourself that hard. Life isn't that difficult. So until next time, take care.